7th. First item, approval of the minutes. Move to approve the minutes of the April 27th meeting.
Move to approve the minutes.
Got a second anywhere?
Second. Me, Paul.
Okay, Paul, I got you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay, unanimous. Second item on the agenda is project update from Clerk of the Works.
Right. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of activity out there in the last month or so. We've done the Imperial did walk with the roofing rep, and I know that Steve, June, and Bruce did a punch list walk. Found, I think, 3 little minor things that needed to be corrected. But that's pretty much been about it. They installed the skylight back at the beginning of May. So pretty much the work is done out there. We're waiting for the solar panel, the PV installation to start. At this point, there's been talk about a change order for the solar panels, but I have not yet seen a formal change order issued. I don't know if Bill, if you've seen anything. But you know, that's partly because of the increased cost, I guess, of the panels. There's some additional fees that Eversource is now charging, and it was something else. But I know that Sofer Petrocelli is trying to work it out with Summerhill, the PV panel vendor, to make some of these changes go away. But again, I have not seen a formal change order, so I don't know the exact cost. So other than that, as far as I know, I have not heard any changes in the schedule. Installation, as far as I understand, is still scheduled at this point to begin the middle of June. So
The
that's where we
question,
are. Sure.
you said you didn't have the exact number for that change order. Do you have a rough idea of what it might be?
They had floated something out there. I still have the notes, but it was somewhere, I think, $35,000 or so. I don't see my notes from last time, but it was somewhere in the ballpark of $35,000. And then, like I said, that included an increased fees from Eversource, price increases on the panels since it was originally bid. And I forget what the third issue. There were 3 components to it, but from memory serves me, we were mid-30s, 40,000-ish.
How many additional panels would there be?
There wouldn't be any addition, as far as I know, there weren't any additional panels. It was just the price increase from when they bid it to what they're charging now because of the whole global economy thing. So they were looking for something on that. So again, nothing has been provided formally. So I know that Bruce is trying to work through things with them on that.
Where are we within the budget?
I don't know, Bill, I don't have access to your budget on this job.
You're actually pretty good on the budget. Let me get my paperwork here. I can tell you. The solar has about 600,000, and the bid was about 250,000 for that. So there's some money there. And then the roof part was see here, it's like 1,600,000 somewhere along there, and you're at 1,300,000, I think, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Question.
Oh, sure. Yes, David.
Any difference in the solar panels? I mean, if they're charging more, are these the same panels originally ordered?
My understanding is yes. Bruce, you may have some different information. My understanding is it's the same price. Again, it's just been a price increase for that material is what they're asking for. Again, nothing formal has come in for review or anything else. So, but my understanding is it's the same panel. It's just been a price increase per unit. So just, it adds up. And again, when we get the paperwork, we can evaluate it and take a look and see if it's a valid increase. Yes, Paul.
Yeah, I realize that Bill has a question as well. My question really is in terms of future price increases, and I know there was a change order that we approved previously, and we all knew that the global supply chain crisis didn't just happen in the past 30 days. It's been going on really all year and actually dating back to the end of 2021. So the question then is this, and because I was told that Imperial actually had either on its own premises or in storage, basically the supplies and materials that they needed to complete the project. And that's really what where my question is coming from. And as far as I know, there've been no other price spikes other than this one. So why is it that these panels are subject to a spike in prices, and the other materials involved in the project have not been? What's unique about these panels that cause them? Because Imperial has started the work; they're doing the work with materials that they purchased previously.
Right. Well, it is a different vendor, so I know Imperial had their roofing products. I don't know how Summerhill has gone about buying out the job. So Summerhill may have bid them and then waited to actually purchase them, and in the meantime the price went up. I don't really know.
Summerhill is the supplier.
They are the subcontractor.
Okay.
To Imperial to install the panels and provide and install.
I would like to answer that question.
Oh yes, please.
I appreciate that. That's awesome.
It's a good valid question for the town. But we needed the Summer Solar really needed to get a handle on the design, and they had to rearrange some stuff in order to make this system work. So it wasn't something that could just get purchased right away. There were some changes that were made to it. So that was the position he was in.
So you're saying that
a little bit, Paul, you could have, some changes were made.
It's to do with the anchoring too, just to let you know, because
that was the third part. Yes,
I think originally we thought more of it could be ballasted, but they found out that it could not, and they have to now put some anchors on it to help hold it on the slope of the roof there.
So
thank you, Alan. That was the third one I couldn't think of.
Okay, that's a significant one. So it almost sounds like, again, none of us on the committee are roofing experts, is if this one had to be custom designed before and that hoarding supplies don't help when information came to light mid-project that we needed to get solar panels that would fit and stay fit. Is that, Alan, is that fair?
Yeah, I would say so. It's that, and that rather than just having everything ballasted, we now have to go to the deck. So they have to now go through the roofing again, get to the deck, and then they anchor to the deck. And then they got to repair that, that penetration through the roof. So
Bill had a question.
Well, essentially the same question you had, Paul. You answered much, or you presented much more articulately than I. But is this a cost in the solar panel itself, or is it in the anchoring?
It's in that anchoring and the procedures to do that anchoring that I think is driving the bigger part of this.
Yeah, but there is, Bruce, my understanding was there was actual increase in the panels themselves as well. But yeah, I mean, the fastening is certainly more work than just a ballasted system.
Yeah,
And the change order, proposal change order that will get presented will break it down in a way that is a little bit more understandable, so you can see where the numbers are.
So if I could back us up for a minute, because I think we're getting at the issues here, but just to, I'm a little more of a linear thinker. So the last time we met, the expectation was that the solar panels were going to go on this spring and that everything was in order for those panels to proceed. Since then, I've been hearing that there were some concerns about the design for the installation of the panels and that there needed to be a redesign done. And I've also today heard about some increased costs. So I don't know who has the broad view of this project, but could somebody, since we've not met for a while, take us from when we last were told panels are going on this spring to what has happened and what the timeline is moving forward, so that we have a clear understanding of when we're going to be presented with this change order and when the construction is going to begin?
I can answer some of those if somebody wants to answer the rest of them.
Okay.
You know, in regards to the solar, we had also met with Silver Petroselli out on site, his electrical division. He's a partner from the firm. And we spoke with is it John's name that we met on site? We met another gentleman from the town, Bill, and we had spoke with him in depth about how solar is changing rapidly from when the specs took place, from when everything is happening. Those things are changing rapidly. Once it was established that some design stuff had to be addressed. Also, there's a generator being put in place in your school system, and the coordination kind of we needed to rearrange how that was going to happen, because we didn't want to have you go out and get a generator and then we have to redo what we're doing. So we're trying to also be conscious about what you have going forward. In regards to the panel schedule, they're still only installing, it looks like mid-July, early July. And considering with the way the world is turning, I don't think that's pushed too far back from June. And after we met with Silver Petroselli last week, it was very informative for everybody, for Bill, for Bruce. We're actually able, and the solar gentleman, we're able to write a real proposal that we're not just guessing anymore, and we can move forward a lot more rapidly. I'm not sure if that helps.
Well, the original, after talking to Brendan, the original solar panel, it was obsolete. So that's why the change of the solar panel.
Had not heard that. Okay, thank you.
Right.
What was that again? Could you please repeat that?
The original solar panel that was specified as obsolete. That's why the solar panel had to be changed.
Thank you.
So if I could just clarify for our processes. So I assume we need another group committee meeting once you have the change order developed so that it can be approved prior to installation beginning. So we'll just need to be mindful to make sure we get this committee together again in a timely enough way so as not to hold up the installation. Correct?
Correct.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Tony, did you have a question?
What's the difference between the old panels and the new panels that makes the old ones obsolescent? I mean, obsolescence means they're not servicing them anymore, but I'm wondering what the improvement is with the new one.
I'll answer that.
Okay.
I don't know what the improvement is, obviously, but the only thing I do know, I mean, I'm not a solar contractor. Summer Hill would answer that, but it wasn't available. That panel, they just discontinued that panel.
More questions or comments?
Yeah, so these are different panels with different installation. Because I must have missed something, because I hadn't heard that in the last meeting.
Yeah, I did not hear this first time hearing that it was a different panel, but yeah.
If I could offer just a quick comment, and I'm not the electrical engineer, but I try to understand the process. The panel is not a proprietary panel. So when we specify solar panels, we will specify a basis of design, will a type of panel, but others could be acceptable. So there are many manufacturers that can meet the requirements of the electrical engineer. So we're not looking for a specific panel. They have to meet certain requirements and how much output they have, and how they feed into the system at your school. So a change in the panel is not a cause for concern in any way. We would accept and expect that to happen. It's part of it's based on what's available at the time. So if there was a discontinued panel number or whatever, we would move on either to another manufacturer or another panel by the same. So that's not the issue. And we're relying on the solar contract, the PV contractor, to get these panels so that they're available, and they have a fixed fee contract with the town. So they have to provide this for a certain fee. And if they can prove through their documentation that these panels are costing more, then we'll review it. But we haven't seen all that documentation yet.
Is the quality the same? Is
Yes.
the output production the same?
That's what we would have to review. We'd review the output, we'd review the quality of the manufacturer and make sure that they're equal to what was specified. And in some cases, they might be better because there are always improvements going on with these panels. The other thing that was mentioned was the attachment, and that's really a roofing change, not an electrical change. That on some of these roofs, we will be adding fasteners in addition to the ballast. So they're attached to the roof. We're going to get the roofing change for that as part of whatever change happens with the panel system. I haven't heard anything about Eversource charges or all of that, but we'll review it all. And my hope is that if we can get this information in the next week or two, then maybe later this month, we can meet again and review a full change order with all the parts that can be explained to you.
Given that it's June 7th, we would like to give this to you by the end of the week. And we would like to see if you guys can make a decision, because this solar, like waiting till the end of the month, Paul, is not going to put me in installation in July.
As soon as you can make it happen. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because I know you said you have to have meetings and stuff, but
yeah,
we like to make sure we stay on schedule.
So I just want to chime in here. So according to what we had talked with Brendan, was the code as these panels have to be attached to the roof. The framing system does, and the panels get attached to the framing system. And since the slope of the roof is just a little bit different, that's why they have to be attached according to code and according to the code of the panels manufacturer.
Yes.
I mean, the worst thing you don't want these panels to slide because you got a little slope to the roof there, but snow load up there, you don't want them to slide. So.
Yeah, that's it.
I know that there's been an attempt from Washington to have more solar production within the United States. Where are these panels coming from? Does anybody know?
Can you repeat that? I'm so
She
sorry.
wants to know where the panels are coming from.
We provide this submittal, a detailed submittal to the architect, so we could have him look into that, but.
Did you say you wanted them from the United States? Is that what you said?
It's just a matter of curiosity. I'm just wondering.
I would assume, according to the world news, they come from China. So
yeah, that's what I thought.
I think, yeah, 90% of these panels do, I believe.
Yeah.
But we can get the specifics from the submittal.
It's not a critical issue.
One comment, and this is not meant to disparage anyone. I think that it would be a good idea if before we met as a committee, that at least one person representing the architect, the general contractor, and Colliers would get together and pretend during these, when you get together, pretend that you were us, namely non-experts who want to make sure that we're doing the right kind of oversight for this project. Imagine what would we all ask, and make a presentation that will leave us with no questions. I would be very, very happy to get that presentation, and this will be the quickest change order approval you've ever seen.
We have a contract and a spec book, so we'll give Paul everything he needs to present you the appropriate data. It's not necessarily a presentation, but we do it through paper and through a certain paper trail we're required through the state because it's a state funded project. So we will lay it all out so Paul can explain it to anybody. And we don't really have a presentation for it, but I'm sure Paul can go through the change order proposal.
Yeah, that's it. We're exactly what I'm looking for, which is for somebody to lead the discussion about, again, why we need this change order, why this is responsive and appropriate to the change order, how and why it meets all of both the contractual specifications and the relevant codes. But basically, leave us with no questions. That's my idea for how the presentation is going to work. I certainly understood Tony's question, but the bottom line is, unless we had a Buy American clause in the bid specs, there is no Buy American clause.
No, I didn't intend that. I was just curious.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna be happy with everything in the long run, and that's what's most important, the quality of work. And that's what you
Absolutely. We're looking forward to that. Okay.
Okay, moving on. Approval of an invoice from Colliers dated 4/30/22 for $1,235.35. Motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Second.
Questions? All those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous. Okay, next item is, we've had pretty much a project from Imperial. Do you have anything more to add?
I don't have anything. That was my computer going off, so.
Okay, next item is approval of a payment application for Imperial dated May 9th, 2022. And that's for $100,839.90. Motion to approve.
Any comment from Alan?
I did review it. It looked appropriate.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to
What's the
approve.
bottom line on this approval again? Could you repeat that, John, or?
Paul, I didn't hear you.
Paul wanted to know what the bottom line on this approval was.
It's $100,839.90.
Alan, who besides you, I know you would not send something to the committee without your approval and sign up. There's either Paul on behalf of the architectural company or Colliers reviewed.
Yes, I have reviewed it. I know Steve June took a look at it as well.
Yes, we have.
And your comments are that the bill is.
Yeah, we were satisfied with it. Yes.
Okay, Paul, you as well?
Yes, our team looked at it and we reviewed it and it's fair value.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, all in favor? Raise your hand. Motion approved. Project update.
John, I'm not sure there was actually a motion. I will make the motion to approve.
I made the motion.
David made it.
Yeah, I made a motion. I don't know if anybody seconded it.
I'll second it.
There you go. That's what we have. Fast.
All those in favor, go ahead, raise your hand. Okay, next item is project update from Silva Petroselli. Anything more to add?
Not really. As Doug had mentioned, we did a roof punch list walk. So that was our last time on site, and our electrical engineer, Bob Banning, was on site with Summer Hill to go over the changes that we talked about, the fastening the panels and the connection or coordination to the new generator. So these are moving parts right now in this change order that's upcoming. Once we get all the information and all the pricing and look at everything, then we'll be prepared to come back to you in the next couple of weeks to, the sooner the better, that we can move forward.
Tony?
When will this project be finished, finalized, completed, done?
Well, I think the percent complete is pretty good right now based on the payment application. And we have solar, some retainage and some small stuff lingering. So if we can keep to the solar schedule, we should be okay.
The roof done.
Yeah,
The roof is done.
yeah, roof is complete, and the solar panels were supposed to be done beginning of September. That's all the sign offs and everything. So if we're pushed back a couple of weeks now, certainly by the end of September, we should be 100% with solar and all the sign offs on that. But it was mid-September based on the last schedule that was issued by Summerhill as the final sign off dates. But when you come back to school, the system should be up and ready to operate. It's just a matter of getting all the state sign offs and Eversource and everybody to approve it. So
Thank you.
mid-end of September we should be done.
Any more questions for Paul? That item on the agenda for Silver Petrocelli invoices, there are none. So we can move on to number 9, motion to adjourn.
Before a motion to adjourn, I believe this is Kelly Lyman's last meeting with us. So I want to say goodbye and thank you, Kelly, for all your efforts with our committee meeting.
Thanks, Dave, but and maybe not the last minute if I heard that there may be change orders in the next week, but we'll see.
Okay.
And welcome to Peter.
Welcome, Peter.
Good thought, David. Okay, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second by David.
Second.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Hey, take care. Thank you.
Ciao.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you.